Magandang umaga! Welcome back to Project SOAR, series of online academic review of mathematics CLAID learning module. I am Ma'am Jessa, a teacher from Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, and I will be your moderator for this week. Bago tayo mag-umpisa sa ating pag-advance lesson, inaanyayahan ko ang lahat na i-share ang live video na ito. Huwag din kalimutang i-like ang aming official Facebook page, Math Team, Mathematics Teachers Association of Mandaluyong, at mag-subscribe sa aming official YouTube channel, MTM Channel. Mga Batang MANDunong, kanina ay nag-advance lesson tayo para sa Week 3, second quarter ng Grade 7. This time, let us now proceed to Grade 8 Mathematics CLAID Module Week 3. Let me introduce to you our Grade 8 reviewer. She is a graduate of Rizal Technological University with Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics. She is now on her 10th year of teaching, a coach at Division NCR Meet at Palarong Pambansa of Sepak Takraw, and she is also a CLAID writer and validator. Mga Batang MANDunong, let us all welcome Mrs. Joana Grace B. Lara.
A pleasant day, parents, teachers, and learners. Welcome to our Project SOAR, series of online academic review of mathematics CLAID modules. I am Mrs. Joana Grace B. Lara, a teacher from Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, and I will be your reviewer for Week 3 of Grade 8 Mathematics. Come and join with me, learning Week 3 of Quarter 2, which talks about relation and function, independent and dependent variables. In this session, we will illustrate a relation and a function. Second, verifies if a relation is a function. And lastly, we will determine the dependent and independent variables. Let's start with relation and function. Relation is any set of ordered pairs. The set of all first coordinates, or abscissas, is what we call the domain. And the set of all second coordinates, or ordinates, is called the range. Relation may be represented by an ordered pair. Halimbawa po ng ordered pair is 2, 4. Kailan po natin masasabi na ang given ay ordered pair? Kung ang dalawang element po ay naka-enclose sa parenthesis and separated by a comma sign. In our example, 2 is what we call the first coordinate. Maaari rin po siyang tawagin as x-coordinate, abscissa, and the input of the relation. While 4 is what we call the second coordinate, na maaari rin tinatawag na y-coordinate, ordinate, or the output of the relation. Let's have an example of relation. I have here a set of ordered pairs. We have the set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Since this is a relation, we can identify the domain and the range. Sabi natin kanina, domain is the set of the first coordinates. Alin-alin po o ano-ano po dito ang first coordinates. So we have 1, 3, 6, and 10. So we can say that our domain is the set of 1, 3, 6, and 10. And then, range is a set of all second coordinates. In our given, 2, 4, 8, and 11 are second coordinates. So we can say that range is the set of 2, 4, 8, and 11. Let's have more examples. 1. A set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is not a relation because it is not a set of ordered pairs. Second one. A set of 1, 2, set of 2, 3. Is it not a relation but just a set of pairs of set? Magiging relation lang siya kung instead of braces naka-enclose kay 1, 2, and 2, 3, dapat po ay parentheses to make it an ordered pair. 3. A set of 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. This is an example of a relation because this is a set of ordered pairs. Since this is a relation, we can identify the domain and the range. Again, the domain is a set of first coordinates. So our domain here is the set of 0, 0, 1, and 2. While range is the set of the second coordinates. So our range here is a set of 1, 2, and 3. Aside from ordered pairs, we can represent a relation in different ways. The first one is using the table of values. So in our given example, we have x column for the first coordinate and y column for the second coordinates. The table describes clearly the behavior of value of y as value of x changes. Since the table represents a relation, we can determine the domain and the range of the given table of values. Our domain here under the x column, we have the set of -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, while our range under the y column is the set of -7, -4, -1, 2, and 5. Aside from the table of values, we can also use graph to represent a relation. So sa ating graph, meron tayo ditong iba't ibang ordered pairs na pinlat natin sa Cartesian plane at kinonect using a line. A graph illustrates the relation of values of x and y. So, since this is a set of ordered pairs, we can say that the graph represents a relation. Using the graph given, we can identify the domain and the range. Again, our first coordinates are -4, -2, 0, 2, and +4. So we can say now that our domain is a set of -4, -2, 0, 2, and 4, while 5, 3, 1, -1, -3 is the second coordinate. So we can say that our range is the set of 5, 3, 1, -1, and -3. We can also use equation to represent a relation. It can be thought of as a set of ordered pairs. In our given example, y is equal to 2x plus 1 is the equation, which is representing a relation. We will assign the value of x to be able to know the values of y. Assign po natin si x as -2. Substitute po natin siya o ipalit po natin siya sa x sa ating given equation. So, it becomes 2 times -2, siya po yung value ni x natin kanina, plus 1 is equal to -3. So, siya naman po ang value ng ating y. So, to make it an ordered pair, it becomes -2, -3. So, assign naman po natin si x as 0. So, substitute natin 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1. So, to make it an ordered pair, 0, 1. Let assign x as 2. Substitute natin again sa ating equation na y is equal to 2x plus 1. It becomes 2 times 2 plus 1 is equal to 5. To make it an ordered pair, it becomes 2, 5. So we may use also to represent a relation using a rule. This is a mathematical sentence of an equation. So we may suggest the rule as y is obtained by adding 1 to the twice of x. Using the table of values that we have formed, we may identify the domain and the range. So our domain here is the set of -2, 0, and 2, and our range is the set of -3, 1, and 5. Lastly, we can use mapping diagram to represent a relation. It is consists of two parallel columns. The first column represents the domain of the relation, while the second column represents the range of the relation. So always remember, in making mapping diagram, kapag ang ating domain or element ng domain at element ng range ay naulit, isang beses lang po siya isusulat sa loob ng columns ng ating mapping diagram. Since the mapping diagram represents a relation, we can identify the domain and the range. The range in our given mapping diagram, which is under the output column, is the set of x, y, and z, while our domain under the input column or the first column will be the set of a, b, c, and d. A relation is a correspondence between two sets. A correspondence may be classified as one-to-one, many-to-one, one-to-many, or many-to-many. To elaborate more, let's have the following. It is one-to-one correspondence if every element in the domain is mapped to a unique element in the range. So kung makikita po natin sa ating example, 1 is being mapped to 3, 2 is being mapped to 4, 3 is being mapped to 5, and 4 is being mapped to 6. So, makikita po natin na ang element po ng ating domain ay nakapares lamang sa iisang element ng range. Kaya po, this is called as one-to-one correspondence. A correspondence may be considered as one-to-many if each element in the domain is mapped to any two or more elements in the range. So, our given example, ang 9 ay nakamap sa dalawang element ng range. 9 is being mapped to 3, 9 is being mapped to -3. So, siya po ay nagre-represent ng one-to-many correspondence. It is many-to-one correspondence if any two or more elements of the domain are mapped to the same element in the range. In our given example, dalawa sa element ng domain or first column ay nakamap sa iisang element ng range. So we have 2 and -2 ay parehong nakapares o nakamap kay +4. So it represents many-to-one correspondence. Last type of correspondence is what we call many-to-many correspondence. It is many-to-many correspondence if any two or more elements of the domain are mapped to any two or more elements of the range. In our given example, 1 and 2 are being mapped to 4, while 3 is being mapped to 5 and 6, which is representing a many-to-many correspondence. We are done with the definition of relation, representations of relation, and correspondence of two sets. Let us now define function. Function is a special type of relation. It is a relation in which every element of the domain is mapped exactly one element in the range. So, tinatawag siyang function, special daw siya, kasi ang ating element ng domain ay nakamap lang sa iisang element ng range. So, kung sa correspondence yun, this is one-to-one correspondence. Kumbaga, tayo ay nakapares lamang sa iisa. Thus, a set of ordered pair is a function if no two distinct ordered pairs have equal abscissas. Kung sa ordered pairs naman or set of ordered pairs, wala po tayong nauulit na element ng domain. To test our gained knowledge about relation and function, let's have this activity number 1. Suppose you are working in a fast food company. You earn 50 pesos per hour. Your earnings are related to the number of hours that you work. Let's have the following question. The first one. How much will you earn if you work for 4 hours a day? How about working for 5 hours a day, 6 hours, 7 hours, or 8 hours? Do you have your answers? The earning depends of the number of hours worked. So if you are working for 4 hours, you will earn 200 pesos. 250 pesos for 5 hours, 300 pesos for 6 hours, 350 pesos for 7 hours, and 400 pesos for 8 hours. Let's have the second one. Express your answer as a table of values, where X is the number of hours worked, while Y is the total earnings. So, pwede po tayong gumawa ng table of values horizontally or vertically. So, in this case, I use horizontal table of values. Ang X po natin dito ay the number of hours worked. Samantalang ang ating Y is the total earnings. So, when we are working for 4 hours, we earn 200 pesos. If we are working for 5 hours, we earn 250 pesos. Working for 6 hours, we have 300 pesos. Working for 7 hours, we earn 350 pesos. And lastly, if we are working for 8 hours, we will earn 400 pesos. Third question, graph the table of values. So this is our table of values. Sa ating graph, lahat po na nandito sa ating x-axis is the number of hours worked. Samantalang lahat na nandito sa ating y-axis is the total earnings. Para po gawin po ang ating graph, kunin po natin ang intersection ng ating x and y coordinates. So, 4 and 200. So, 4, 200 get their intersection. This is now the point or the given ordered pair. So, 4, 200 po yun. So, let's have 5 and 250. So, this is the intersection of 5, 250. 6 and 300, this is the point of 6, 300. 7 and 350, so this is the point of 7, 350. And 8, 400. So this is now the graph of the table of values. Fourth question. Suggest an equation relating x and y. Since the total earnings related to the number of hours worked, we can suggest an equation of y is equal to 50x. Our y here is the total earnings, represents total earnings. Our x represents the number of hours worked. And 50 pesos here is the fixed price of working per hour. So, to check if our equation is correct, so if we are working for 4 hours, that is the value of our x, we will substitute it to y is equal to 50x. It becomes y is equal to 50 times 4. Our y is 200. So, working for 4 hours, we will earn 200 pesos. So, to make it an ordered pair, it becomes 4, 200. So, if we are working for 5 hours, which is x is equal to 5, substitute natin po ulit sa ating equation na y is equal to 50x. Y is equal to 50 times 5, which is the value of our x. 50 times 5 is 250, which is now the value of y. So, if we are working for 5 hours, we will earn 250 pesos. to make it an ordered pair, it becomes 5, 250. So if we are working for 6 hours, again, substitute natin sa ating equation, which is y is equal to 50x. It becomes y is equal to 50 times 6. Our y is 300. So to make it an ordered pair, 6, 300. So working for 7 hours, substitute to the equation, y is equal to 50x. So it becomes 350. So if we make it an ordered pair, it becomes 7, 350. And lastly, if we are working for 8 hours, substitute natin ulit sa ating equation, which is y is equal to 50x. Y is equal to 50 times 8. So we will earn 400 pesos. So to make it an ordered pair, it becomes 8, 400. Fifth question. What is the domain of each set of ordered pairs? So we have here the set of 4, 200, 5, 250, 6, 300, 7, 350, and 8, 400. So, alam naman po natin na ang domain ay set of first coordinates. So, what is our domain here? Our domain is the set of 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Question number 6. What is the range of each set of ordered pairs? Alam naman po natin when we say range, it is a set of second coordinates. So ano-ano po ang mga second coordinates natin dito? So we have 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. So we can say that our range is the set of 200, 250, 300, 350, and 400. Question number 7. What type of correspondence is the set of ordered pairs given? Explain. So, our ordered pairs or set of ordered pairs is 4, 200, 5, 250, 6, 300, 7, 350, and 8, 400. So, kung mapapansin po natin, this is a one-to-one correspondence. Last question. Is the set of ordered pairs represents a function? Explain. What do you think? Yes, of course. The given relation is a function because there exists a one-to-one correspondence between the elements. We already know the difference between relation and function. So this time, we will verify if a relation is a function. Always remember that a relation is any set of ordered pairs, while a function is a relation in which, for every first element, there corresponds a unique second element. And also, take note that all functions are relations, but not all relations are functions. So, let's proceed now describing functions. So, una, mapping diagram po. Paano po natin malalaman kung ang given mapping diagram ay nagsisignifies o nagdi-describe ng function? So, kung titingnan po natin ang ating example, kapag ang ating mapping diagram ay nagpapakita ng one-to-one correspondence, ang ating given mapping diagram is a function. Second one, the table of values. Mailaman po natin kung ang table of values ay nagsisignifies o nagde-describe ng function kapag wala pong naulit na element sa column ng x o walang naulit na element sa x coordinates. Samantalang, ang graph ay magiging function o magsisignifies ng function kung siya ay papasa sa vertical line test. Ano po yung vertical line test na sinasabi natin? kapag nag-drawing po tayo ng vertical line sa ating graph at siya po ay nag-intersect sa iisang point, ibig sabihin ng ating graph ay function. At kung hindi naman po siya nag-intersect sa iisa o nag-intersect siya sa dalawa o mahigit na points, ibig sabihin po ang ating graph ay isang relation lang at hindi function. A function may be described using a rule or equation. So, from our previous example sa mapping diagram, sa tables of values, and the graph, pwede po tayong makapag-suggest na ang ating rule ay y is obtained by 3 times x. So, kung sa equation siya, y is equal to 3x. So, paano po natin malalaman kung ang ating rule or equation ay function? Kapag nag-assign po tayo ng value sa equation, o nag-assign tayo ng value ni x, para makuha po ang value sa y, wala pong nauulit na element ng domain. So we can say that the equation or the rules that we suggest or obtain is a function. Let's have this activity number 2. Tell whether the given is a relation or function. Number 1, a set of 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7. Is it a relation or a function? What is your answer? Correct. It is a function. Number 2, x plus y is equal to 5. What do you think? It is a relation or a function? That's right. That is a function. Third one. So we have here a graph. Is number 3 a function or a relation? Yes, it is a relation because vertical line intersects in 2 points. Number 4. Is the graph in number 4 signifies or describe a function? Yes, it is a function because the vertical line in our graph intersects only in 1 point. Number 5. Is the table of values represent a relation or function? What is your answer? You got it right. This is a function. Number 6. Is the mapping diagram represent a relation or function? Yes. Since the mapping diagram represents one-to-one correspondence, this is a function. Good job, guys! You already know how to identify if a given relation is a function. Now, let's proceed to the last part of this session, which is all about independent and dependent variables. Variables may be dependent or independent. Dependent variables depends on the independent variable, while independent variable controls the dependent variables. Always remember that independent variable influences the change in the dependent variable. In an equation where y is expressed in terms of x, ang variable x ay kinoconsider natin as independent variable. Dahil any value ay pwede nating i-assign sa kanya. However, variable y is the dependent variables because its value depends on the value of our x. In real-life situation, dependent variable is the effect of the given situation, while the independent variable is the cause why dependent variables happen. Let's have some examples of real-life situation, and we will identify if it is an independent or dependent variable. Number 1, distance covered and liters of gasoline. The distance covered is the dependent variable, while the liters of gasoline is the independent variable. Alam naman po natin na dumidepende sa dami ng gasolina ang itinatakbo ng ating sasakyan. Kung konti ang gasolina, maiksi lang ang maaaring itakbo o marating ng ating sasakyan. Samantalang, kung marami ang gasolina, full tank siya, maaaring malayo o mahaba ang lalakbayin ng ating mga sasakyan. Let's have the second one. Cups of water needed and weight of rice grains. Ang ating dependent variable is the cups of water, while the independent variable ay weight of rice grains. Lahat naman po siguro tayo ay marunong magsaing. Alam naman po natin na kapag konti ang bigas na isasaing, konting tubig lang po ang kailangan. Samantalang, kapag marami ang bigas na sasaingin, nangangailangan din tayo ng maraming tubig. Kaya po, ang cups ng water ay dumidepende sa dami ng bigas na ating sasaingin. Number 3, grade and test and number of hours studied. The dependent variable will be the grade and test, while the independent variable is the number of hours studied. So, ang ating grade sa test o score sa test ay dumidepende sa haba ng oras ng ating pag-aaral. Mas mahaba ang oras ng ating pag-aaral, maaaring makakuha tayo ng mataas na marka. Samantalang kapag hindi tayo nag-aral o maiksi lang yung oras ng ating pag-aaral, maaaring mababa ang makuha nating score o ang pinaka-worst ay bumagsak sa test. Number 4. Kilos of alamang needed and the numbers of mangoes. The kilos of alamang needed is the dependent variables while the number of mangoes is the independent variable. Tayong mga Pilipino, mahilig tayo sa mangga at alamang, bagoong alamang. Alam naman natin na ang kilo ng alamang na kailangan ay depende sa dami ng mangga. Kung konti ang mangga, konti lang yung magagamit nating bagoong alamang. Kung marami ang mangga, marami ang piraso, syempre, kailangan din natin ng medyo mas maraming bagoong na alamang. Dumako naman po tayo sa third activity, which is all about dependent and independent variables. Complete the following sentences to make them all through. 1. I consider time as a or an variable because it blank the salary. What do you think is the answer? I consider time as an independent variable because it controls the salary. How about this one? If you consider time as independent, I consider the salary as, yes, it is dependent variable because this time it depends on the numbers of hours worked. Number 2, I consider the number of miles run as a or an blank variable because it blank the calories burned. What is your answers? Correct. I consider the number of miles run as independent variables because it controls the calories burned. Now, I consider the calories burned as an or a blank variable because it blank on the number of miles run. State your answer. I consider the calories burned as a dependent variable because it depends on the number of miles run. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, feel free to send a message to our official page, Math Team Mathematics Teacher of Mandaluyong, or send a message to your math teacher. This is Mrs. Lara saying, Math-sayang Math-aral, tayo ng Math-tuto.